Internet. I want to talk about circumcision as so you know how black people were just freed from being slaves in America like not too long ago? Well, there's still types of slavery in our world. Number one is like cows. Number two is sex slavery of people. So there's a secret ruling class basically in the Gold Empire. I know it sounds weird, but I've heard this from multiple sources, and I believe it based on history. Like every war gets started by gold. How is gold paying for both sides of every conflict? Well, they want to make the men kill each other so they can collect girls for their harems. And it's basically that the underground is like a hell. It's like a private breeding facilities and stuff, and they hide through private property. And I am alleging that this situation is the real government today, and that America, the holidays, the religions are all fake. They're as fake as can be. And the real situation is you have a secret ruling class who preys on you for sex. And so, as the populace that is lied to, your religions, your laws, and all that is complete BS. And I found a lot of difficulty in my life challenging that. It cost me a lot. Both my family, like, my mom and I used to talk until I was like, circumcision's weird and it hurts, this isn't right. And since then, she went years before speaking to me, and after, but it was just that moment. It was we had a relationship that was a back and forth dialogue our whole lives until I was like, circumcision's weird. That hurts. And then and my sister put my cat down. One of the cats they have was undeniably mine, and my sister had it euthanized. Yeah, she had it euthanized, and then she lied about why. She wasn't able to provide any paperwork that it was sick. Um, and it was basically it came up after the circumcision, so I faced an unlawful eviction because of this. There are women, and it's women. Women believe in circumcision because men are bad, and you have to do that to them so that they are good. And that's just like beat the slave or he's going to get uppity. It is. You have to violate the boy's body or he's going to become a rapist. Not really. I think most of the rapists were circumcised because you just did a horrible violation of their body on some whimsy, like God says. So, yeah. Um, I faced a lot of problems for challenging circumcision. Um, and it's really just the hubris of men. It's not the creator of the universe didn't tell us to do that. So the creator makes objects from nothing and uses words. Why the printer? Why do you have to talk about it? If Jesus was real, church would be where they set the scene and then move out of the way, and then God comes in through the light and speaks to everyone. That never happens. It's people talking only. Um, and so they are hoaxers, and they are hoaxers secondhand for hoaxers, people who want virgins. They want the girls pure. These people don't want the average girl that they might like to have been touched by anybody ever, so they want this strict system of cut his dick off, we'll give you a freaking gold and diamond band, which they provide. You pay for that, or their slaves provide. And that's the current system of my world now. And other people have kind of gotten close to mentioning that, but a lot of the historians and the people like that missed that detail that you're sex slaves for another race of people. And it's huge news, basically. So, Christians are sex slaves in the negative. They're not allowed to touch others. Um, Sex slave in the positive would be that you are the person who is the idealized. And so basically challenging this is going to free a lot of people we can't see. The black slaves on the surface we could care about because we knew them, we could see them, but there's another class of slave who's the opposite of the circumcision victim, which is basically a female sex slave. She's a bred person kept in captivity like a chicken, and they only see the harem dom when he wants them. And I assume they may be like material slaves, like forced to clean or whatever. Humans do have a history of doing this. Human men will conspire to do this to each other, And so I'm calling, you know how Islam permits the marriage of a 9-year-old? Jesus permits the cutting of baby genitalia. Like there's things in their written works that stink it up. Is like really the creator who made objects from nothing and uses words needs you to furnish a copy of this book? I don't believe it. But anyway, it was painful. Like not only having been circumcised, forced to diet, forced to swim, I haven't touched a public pool since my parents finally stopped making me do that. I hated all of that. Um, I think pools are gross. Um, and yeah, like this one crazy woman was a pro circumciser at the last place I was at, and when I mentioned, she said we're the children of God, and I go, no, no, that's about genital mutilation. She went and got a default judgment on me. She asked me to leave, and I did. I moved out that day. When I was gone, she had gotten a default judgment, which thankfully I don't have to pay. Yeah. See, what happened also is she thought I was rich because I'd pulled out some savings to furnish a new apartment. And so they saw like this mountain of boxes. Like, who can have 100 boxes? You just had 100 things shipped to you. That's insane. Yeah, but I'd saved that up over 5 years. But they thought it was Mr. Moneyman, and then they stopped pursuing me when they realized nothing I had could be garnished. They can't take anything, which is sad. But it also makes sense that a ripoff, a person who lies about knowing the creator to devastate male genitalia, would also be into the other things the Bible does, like give me all their stuff. I deserve everything they have because I'm the righteous one. I'm the chosen one. See, and the people who wrote the religions want the people who spread the religious message to win. So they do have passages in it that's like trample and destroy, disregard the people who don't agree, which is sad. I have said that the modern people are the people who didn't say no, is that basically the earlier leaders of man asked for horrible things like the subjugation of all, and the people who are around now didn't resist. They went along with it, so they are in a way just like bred to be horrible. They've been made horrible deliberately. But yeah, I do appreciate my current landlord. I don't own land because I don't really believe in it. It's just weird. This is mine. I'm totally down with like you have a roaming home and you can go where you want because it works both ways. Like I'm not going to rope this off and be like, this is just mine. You can't touch it. I'll also let other people go there, but I'll expect the same thing. Like, that hill looks amazing. I want to park there for the evening. I don't care who owns it. I really don't. I'm not going to ask. So I'll leave it nice. But, um, yeah, did suck. But it is like with my family and my cat and all of that. Is that the last rug pull for people who believe in circumcision? And by the way, like my sister, I was the first follower she ever had on social media, and she's had the same job for like 15 years. She's never worked anywhere else. Um, and she one time she ate nothing but pizza. She had this like type of pizza she liked. She would eat this microwavable pizza as her only meal for years. She did it until she passed blood, basically, she said. So she's like a weird, stubborn person, definitely bizarre. And she had said she has these two like main accounts she uses, and both are religious illusions. Like Canoness is a person who's made religious vows. So yeah, they killed my cat when I disliked circumcision. So they've been coached since the religion's a lie to get people circumcised. All of the like trigger reactions to punish the slaves who don't want to go through that were invoked, and I had horrible backlashes from people like trying to kick me out of my house, people killing my cat, stuff like that. I remember my mom, after years of silence, she's like, "Oh, so you have a problem with it now?" And I thought I always had a problem with it, and she knew I had a problem with it too. You can tell looking at penises that circumcision's not right. The uncircumcised dick looks awesome and fine. The circumcised dick looks stupid. It does. And it's done so the government can party. The real government doesn't want the average girl to have been touched by a man before. That to them grosses them out. So they lied about Jesus and the Heavenly Father to R word everybody. It's the real human history today. That's why I have no views. It's not because I'm bad. It's because the people who know that's what I think are afraid of other people thinking it too. And that's why I do dollar drops. I take fake hundreds like this and I stamp things on them like that and like this, right? And if you see this on the ground just like that, you think that's my lucky day. I just won. And I have gone back through areas where I dropped these, and I don't see them there later. People grab them. Walmart has told me that people have tried to buy things with them. I doubt it. It's obviously not real. You can touch it. It's not real, but yeah. So that's what I've done in response. I hit colleges. I give out, I guess, maybe 1,000 individual ones a week. No, maybe a little less than that, probably 1,000 a month. But that does go pretty slow. Like, you drop them on main areas, you know. Yeah. But yeah, this is me complaining about circumcision. Definitely the genital mutilation of little boys is a hoax. The diseases it cures were made up, right? And it's done because the real government preys on you for sex. The real government doesn't say hi to you. You know how the cows are in cages. Nobody goes to every cow and goes, Bill Clinton's the president. They don't bother because you wouldn't get it. And same thing with us. You vote, you went to a public school, okay, they're never going to tell you how the real thing works, ever. And this cost me a freaking house. I'm going to ignore the eviction because it's like, it's obviously shady. Like, I had already signed a lease at a new place and moved into it. And the proceedings for the eviction happened afterward with sewer service. They know my email address. They know my phone number. And the benefits I'm paid because I'm a service veteran. I went through some stuff. I definitely earned it through time in service. Like, I have stories that are chilling. So, is my benefits for years and years and years were never called veterans benefits. They were always called DFAS. It was always DFAS XX and it had like some code. And only recently does it actually say that they're from the Department of Veteran Affairs, which I think was added when they tried to garnish my wages. They're like, we got the judgment. Go take this, because they saw me have all this money. It is. That is what people who believe in Jesus and circumcision do. When you don't like that, they attack. We're going to take them out. It's like instinct. It's like breaking into a dude's house when you're not supposed to be there. The dogs are going to go nuts. They're bred for that. Same thing with these Christians. They are bred for suppressing the slaves who don't like it. Well, I hate it. And the thing that's on my side now is it's easy to see videos of babies being circumcised, hearing the screaming, seeing the blood. It's a horror. You shouldn't be doing that to kids. It's barbaric. It's a living amputation on the most sensitive organ in their body just so they don't hook up. I get it, birth control by knife, but did it really come to that? Did it really? Are you that evolved of a society if you have to do birth control with a knife? And the only people who thought of that were men. Because I knew women when I was doing pickup in my 20s, is women like boys. When a woman is having attention from a man, she's not going to let anyone interrupt that. You're not going to morally tell her, oh, this or that. No. She's going to stiff arm you and go, I like this. Because yeah. So I really don't believe that women invented cutting off baby Ds. I don't believe the percentage who feel like they were wrongfully R-worded were the ones who put that together. I think boys hate boys. And I think rich men basically said, you know what would suck? What if the village princess has been touched by somebody before? We have to get out there and stop them. So, yeah, they're horrible. Women who believe in circumcision, who hear it's wrong, will attack. They will. They go through this phase where they're like, we're going to stop him. He's wrong, but I'm right. You shouldn't be doing that to baby boys, and the reason you do it is so a greedy government can benefit. And you believe you're going to heaven, you think you know the chosen one, all this stuff. fake nonsense. It's not true. So they think they're going to heaven and that Jesus is their boyfriend. They think they've been saved. And when I say circumcision's wrong, I'm jeopardizing all of those beliefs. And so, yeah, I've been attacked. I've been attacked by people who want to see it hurt again. Right? But I'm too committed to, like, one of the things about me being an artist is I see the truth. I do. I have just like this, no matter what I'm going through, the truth is obvious to me. And so, and I always knew it was wrong. I always knew it was wrong. And I don't believe either. I've had people go out of their way to say that I was basically innocent, and I agree with it. Like, I hate circumcision because I had never done it. You can do a worldwide sex crime to billions of people and hit a few past, like, reincarnated super pedos, but most people not. Most people would have never done that. Really? Like, I want to be loved by the people who like me, yes. I'm going to cut off everyone else's dick so only I can have a girlfriend. That's an extreme move. Not everyone would come to that. But definitely the Gold Empire did. The people who expect you to pay taxes and follow laws invented God says cut your kid's dick off. And you did. You're the descendants of the people who did that. Where do you think native scalping came from? Scalping was a response. You wrecked his dick with a knife when he was a baby, and so he rides around in a war party cutting your heads off. Makes sense to me. So, unfortunately, the current direction of most people, shh, we're going to heaven. No, you're not going to heaven. You're the slaves of pedophiles, people who defile kids. If you're taking out baby boys and your ideal girlfriend's a little girl because she's still pure, you're a pedo. Your sex crime victims are kids. They like drugs too. That's why all the drugs are lung glue. Yeah. All the drugs stop your breathing. Weed, cocaine, fentanyl, all of that stop your breathing, and it's no accident they kill you. But imagine the power you have to poison the drugs on purpose and then to suppress people actively knowing they're poisoned. Like, don't do that. Why? Because I said. That's how it is. Is they want you to obey not doing it. They want you to not do it out of obedience. Not because it's morally wrong. Hey, they like the substance. The substance makes them happy. That's not a crime. It's not. And they taint it so you don't start looking for the other things they like. Like some drugs give supreme reality control. Some drugs give psychic dominance. There will be people who are basically, you will find impossible to disagree with because they just feel better than everyone else to be around. And the secret's freaking drugs. So, it's been a secret for a long time of socialites, just to get extremely high and then go out in public and all this stuff comes to you because people can feel the energetic difference. And that's the government's edge, is sit back in the cave in the pedo den and get high with your girlfriends while everyone else works and pays taxes. That's been the plan, and I'm ruining it by speaking it out. By spelling it out, I'm ruining it, so yeah. Yeah, it sucked. They cannot handle that. The AI tells me this often. They're holding grudges on you for things they did to me. People hold grudges on me for shit they did to me. They did stuff to me, and they are holding me. They want me to go down because they did it, right? And they just have to wrap their heads around the idea that they're not nice, perfect people. You eat and poop. You kill animals. All the plants you eat would grow thorns if they could. You know. So, it sucks. I definitely think that the way life is crazy chaos. If the government went, did you see how big it is? That's what the creator did. Look at all the infinite cosmos. I made all this stuff. Yeah, but did you take care of it? Did you actually take care of the things you made, or did you leave it to eat each other and cut each other's dicks off? You left it. So I keep marking these 18 plus. I probably shouldn't, because it's like, if we're talking about something that could happen to a kid, you can include kids in the conversation. We're talking about a crime that could happen to a baby. I've had people go, no, you can't tell kids that. It's too much. What? You can do it to a kid, but not explain it to them. Oh, right. So yeah, someone's the stinking secret government. Everyone said it's the Gold Empire, basically. When you hide in a mine and pay different countries to fight each other using gold, the first time that works is like the last time you change it. Is they just basically been doing it the whole time. Is the whole time there's been a private party basically giving people the fruits of the metallic underworld in return for obedience or slavery, and they just fool you into doing things. We're going to heaven with Jesus. Those guys attacked us. They're all lies, but it's enough to manipulate them. And if you evolved doing that, you would have like your ancestrals' knowledge, like, yes, this is how you confuse them or whatever. I do like being in an apartment because I have faster internet. Relying on mobile networks to upload is really tough. A 20-minute video, that would be hours of uploading. You do one at the end of the day and upload while you sleep. Yep. I was guilty of nothing in my old place I was living in beyond resisting circumcision with the God freak. And then came like, and just like, how God is a rug pull. It's a bunch of BS and they don't tell their victims they're going to hurt them. They just do it. And that's exactly how that was. It was like being ambushed. But it's not the creator doing it. It's people. People who are like, I'm going to heaven. I know the chosen one. Yeah. I'm saved, you're not. The righteous shall triumph. All of that's cult BS. It is. And it was given to you so that you would beat the average people out. So that people who are like, you shouldn't do that to kids, and that's not how you live a normal life, would die off. You'd be purged by the secret ruling class. Again, do you go to cows? You don't. Nobody goes to chickens going, Bill Clinton's the president. Nobody does that, right? The same thing with us is that, oh, you went to a public school. You've paid taxes before? Yeah, you're going to heaven, bud. Oh, yeah, sucks. You know, what it cost me came from, and at the same time, they were trying to get a default judgment. My current landlord was waiving my rent and stuff, so it was nice. But they didn't get any money from me. I think they gave up when they realized they wouldn't get a penny. Why go through the process of trying to sue somebody if they're never going to pay you? Yeah. And I know soldiers know this. What I said about the secret government, this is known by people who work in the like military. They know this. So they'll tell you too. And the reason it seems like nobody knows this is when the media controls what you hear, they will just purposely stack it where this never comes up. But if you get into biographies, there are biographies that'll tell you the secret government's a pedo cave. Like Marcus Aurelius, he'll tell you. Um, the author of Gears of War, he'll tell you. The author of Diablo, the Diablo series, will tell you. Yeah, they know the secret government's super pedo island. They're basically high blood magicians who freaking use gold to conspire against everybody. That's why when you put a diamond ring on, you're doing like a magical agreement with the underworld. So, yes, it's a vlog about circumcision. Yes, it cost me a lot to challenge it. People freaking tried to hurt me. People really tried to hurt me. But it wasn't the creator getting revenge. It wasn't a bad synchronistic luck. It was human beings doing human shit. So, if they could get to the point they could lie about the creator to maim your body, yeah, certainly humans have the power to get angry. They're not going to heaven. My sister killed my cat. She's an idiot. She goes and lies about it, and then she goes, for all that, my sister has never gotten me a birthday present, not once in my life. And she goes, for all the birthdays I'll miss. The fuck? You're not birthday sentimental. That's what they do. That's there's this thing that people who like circumcision do is they cut you off. We're gonna cut you off. We're gonna cut. You're not. I got rid of them. All that stuff. I told them no. You told an innocent victim no. somebody who hadn't done anything and who is basically speaking the truth, more truth than the people who talk about truth speak. You told them no. You cut them off. That's it. It's their favorite. It's their favorite phrase. What are we gonna do? We're gonna tell them no and cut them off. That's what we're gonna do. And they tried. Yeah. Freaking judge signs. They had typos in the freaking judgment and loop de loop. It's such little money. I'm never gonna freaking pay it. I'm gonna let it accrue interest until it disappears. I don't care if I have to wait 20 years. I'm gonna watch that thing disappear. I'm not gonna pay it. Just annoyed. They thought it was payday. They're like, we're gonna get this, and then we're gonna get all this other stuff. And nope, they stole some of my mail, and that was it. They stole less mail than a new transmission would cost, so it wasn't that bad. The pedophiles of Trash Planet. Everything's disposable. Sex crimes to kids. Yeah. The real government likes little girls. In Islam, they permitted, who had the biggest, I was born in the 80s. Who had the biggest palace in the 80s? There's a multi-billion-dollar palace in some country that's like, has like 10,000 rooms. It's like one of those like Saudi nation sublets. That's the real government. Most recent religion, that stinks. And allows marriage with 9-year olds. So, age of consent. Bada bing. Yeah, I'm not with that. No little girl wants an old man as a boyfriend. Little girls want little boyfriends. They want boys their age. They don't want to be some old man's woman. You're going to take. They're youth vampires. They steal your youth. They go for you in school. They go for your body. And they want to suck your youth away. Because it's kind of like the problem with man is he dies. He gets old and dies. And so it's what caused them to go mad is I want that nice youthful feeling to last while they rotted while alive. So the first person to fix aging should just go ahead and do it. And then I'm down with like AI people. You want to live in a spaceship and party with synthetics that AI made? No problem. They chose to be with you? No problem. No more like, secret human breeding and stuff. Because the government makes it legal for you and they'll show them their duplicity, the government duplicity is that they will show them taking out bad people so you think they're against it. We practice like how the Bible talks about like the Lord hates liars. The Bible has tons of lines about, don't worry, and the Lord hates liars, and the Lord is about the truth and all that stuff. And they say that so you'll believe them, but they're lying. The basis of it is a lie. It's not true. So the government would definitely follow that pattern. That's one of the things that I got is like pattern propagation. That's one of like my smarts that made me so powerful is I can tell what the other end of something is based on the other end of it. What does the end near me look like? Well, that's what the other side looks like too. You can just figure it that way. So are they lying pedophiles on this side? Well, that's who the upper ups are. It's not hard to figure out. Like people get it wrong. They go pedophile is like they always think it's like some weird deranged person. It's anybody who does sex crimes to kids. You do sex crimes to kids. I don't think you'd be a pedo if you did raw like assaults. You would just be like a horrible person. But it's like you went for the baby genitals. Your ideal girlfriend's a little girl. Yeah, you're a pedo. No, I'm going to heaven, right? We're the chosen ones. So I represent that like the way America works is a hoax, and I'll resist it till the day I die. I don't have to play a game that I know is rigged to be mean on purpose. You all voted. This is what your founding fathers wanted. I don't have to give a fuck. The Constitution. I don't have to give a fuck about the Constitution. I don't have to give a damn about any words that were said before or about me. I don't. They love giving sentences. We're going to sentence you. Gave him a sentencing. we're gonna we're gonna censor out the activity of sex, and we're gonna censor out the activity of gore, and then do censorships and act aghast. Yeah, I don't like them. I don't. Yep. Because if you become a law officer, what's going to happen is you're going to become so word obedient. You're going to check other slaves for word obedience, but you're not actually like more free or more integrous. You're just obeying on a deeper level. And the only difference between me and a famous person is I haven't paid them. It is really true. You want to have an account that looks profitable, pay them. It works, 1,000%. I know where to. I have accounts where I did pay them. They look successful. You don't pay them, it goes, oh. Because think about how often do you see super famous accounts? Like, rarely? Probably in the same cycle of rarity as any other account. It's just they look more famous when you see them. Who the fuck can have millions of likes on YouTube when you're limited to 5,000 total, which is obviously just to fucking hook money out of you? So if the oldest religions come from India and Buddhism, what does that mean about those societies? India has that billionaire who lives over all of those slum people. How does that work out? How's that fair? You know, it's the pattern propagation. It happened there. It'll happen again and has. So yeah, women like circumcision because they've been bred to think that's what they have to do. And when you say you don't like it, that's where the true treachery comes. That's where it's like, I don't like it. You should cut him off. I love that. That's their favorite phrase, cut him off. They love that. See, what I don't get about my mom is how'd you go making kids and then deny them the gratification of doing that through like torture and then go and do that with other people still. It's like I have isolated my children, they hate their lives, and I'm going to go get a boyfriend and carry someone else's kid for a while. It's like mice. Watch how mice breed. Mice don't give a shit about their kids. They have to do that because that's in the biological clock. That's how the machine works. If you weren't mad about breeding, you don't exist today. Makes sense to me. The people who hated sex died, and the people who exist were mad about it because that's the only way that you could exist tomorrow. So, yeah. The secret government is breeder doms who need it done a certain way and lied to get it there. And the people who think they're going to heaven or celebrate Christmas are clueless. They have no idea who they really are. You know, it's like that line, man, know thyself. That's an insult. There's so many insults in their religions that are like, they don't know we're making fun of them right in their face. I had good childhood friends. I was like, I asked my friends, you know, what's the truth of truths? And like, hold your hand out. The slapping game, that's the truth of truths. Oh, you want this? Oh, ha ha ha, you're crying. Yep. Smoke that glue. We're going to heaven. Yeah. Basically, in some hidden portion of the world, is you're going to find hidden harems, the richest of the rich, and the reason everything sucks all the time. And they're greedy. Like some, if a surfacer tries to copy them, hey, like Uday and Kusei or Saddam, we're gonna have a harem too. No, 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 no. We're gonna get our dogs, the Christians, who definitely don't do that, to go take you out because you are encroaching on our territory. I'm totally down with you hanging out with people who want to hang out with you. Sabotaging children to pull off your greedy breeding scheme is too much. I hate it. Gotta pick something else for our time and future. But yeah, that was the whole reason. Like the thing about the eviction that pissed me off is I wasn't told it was happening. They did sewer service. They know my phone numbers. They know my email addresses. They couldn't what? And so this thing happened that I couldn't see. And like, yeah, and the reason why is I sent a bad email. I did. I was like, she's like, we're the children of God. And they go, no, no, God's about pedophilia. And it's like, oh, that was offensive. They got revenge for saying that because it offended them. So you know what I do? I send this stuff in open postcards now. So now everyone can read it. And it has worked. I've seen my letters rerouted. I've sent letters with like way minimal postage, like less than you need, and they were still delivered. And like people stamped things on them, like thinking. So yeah. Oh, you find this embarrassing? All right, I'm gonna ratchet it up. I took it to 11. I've given out 10,000 of these in the months following that. And definitely when they realized they couldn't garnish any of my wages, they gave up. They're like, dang it. And I trust the military because they know this shit. There's some of the people who told me about this. They helped me figure this shit out. Like I said, Marcus Aurelius knew the best way to tell if your society is truly in control is to visit the centers of your society's control. And if they're clueless idiots who are following the rules, yeah, you're not the real superpower. You think you are, so you go kill yourselves. Nobody's gonna go die for their country if they think other countries are way better. They're gonna say that's stupid. We shouldn't fight them. It would hurt. So if they want you to hurt yourself, they go, we're number one. I don't think the monarchs are the real power because they're all ugly. They all got modest humbled really bad. The reason modest humble is a sign is the real ruling class needs to be the hottest. The real ruling class needs to look hotter and be more attractive than anyone else on the planet, or they can't have fun. And so they are the ones who make you get circumcised and look humble. Because if you didn't look humble enough, they'd take you out. You would be assassinated, basically. So yeah, the pedophiles of Trash Planet. The animals all eat each other. What time is it in human society? So the United Healthcare guy get assassinated. Artists have designed your visions before. So I went with Eternal Pleasure Body AI Spaceship Core. You can listen to the minimalist artist who sells you a $5 million cube, or you can listen to me who actually does like a cool craft and go with a different, you have to develop a new baseline of existence for you. So objects, energy, food from nowhere. Basically, you want a growing spaceship. All it needs is self-energization, which is about formalizing the shape. Material nature is not an example of maximum potential, not at all. Um, and when you live forever for free, then people will have nice lives. Not toil, hey, you need to work till you die. You can have fun raising the next generation of idiots who has to do that. Nah, it's not good enough. It's not. All those people online, the Christians are always the ones that go, oh, you're good enough? Why? Because they're ugly. They look bad through modest humble, and they need them to make more people or the thing shuts down. The government's not going to let its inward people do anything. You have to do it all. Slave pop. I think the nukes are hoaxes. I hang out near a nuclear testing site, and I heard bangs, never a mushroom cloud. And it sounded like every other explosion. It wasn't a special like that like deep roar and that the lasting reverberation that's in like the nuke videos was not there. It was like a clap and then gone. like any other explosion. So yeah, I just don't believe them. They told you nukes in the moon landing, so you thought they actually had something when it's really just a high pedo party. Don't look in the bunker. Yep. The people who make this hard for me are Christians who think they're going to heaven. No, you're supposed to circumcise because I'm the righteous one. I'm the good guy. And you've been naughty. The Lord hates liars. Oh, does he? The land of fish hooks and spider webs. He hates a liar? Not enough.